Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 on this here channel because I wear this cool hat. Here on ETCG1 we don't do repair videos, we talk about stuff. So if you're looking for repair videos, there will be a link in the description of my Eric the Car Guy channel. You can go there and watch all the repair videos you like. However, if you wish to stick around and join in the discussion, well, welcome. Last weekend was my dad's 66th birthday. So it got me to thinking. It got me to thinking about retirement and what I would like to do one day when I decide to retire. As a self-employed entrepreneur, it's kind of difficult to envision being retired and not working. It's just because when you work a job, it's like, okay, I'm going to work this job until I reach this point and then I'm gone. But when you're in business for yourself, you kind of have a different perspective on that. You're kind of like, at least me, I'm thinking, how long am I going to be able to do this? How much am I going to have to save up? And I think that's what a lot of us face. Statistically speaking, we've been living longer and longer, and as a result, more and more people are in retirement and collecting Social Security and benefits that much longer. And as a result, that has sort of sapped out our retirement accounts, things like that. Now, I don't want to get into all that, but one of the things, I also posted this question to my social networks, both Facebook and Google Plus and Twitter, and a lot of the response that I'm getting, some very interesting responses. You guys are pretty cool. In fact, can't remember who you were, but the one that posted about opening up an ice cream stand on the beach and serving ice cream to girls in bikinis all day, I want to work for you. So you get to the end of that road and you put in your time, I don't know how many years, maybe you put in a bunch of years at one place, or maybe you're like myself and you're self-employed and you suddenly decide, you know, hey, I'm done with this. The funny thing is I also had another friend of mine come in today to have her car fixed, and she's also retired and bored. Boredom is something that seems to come with retirement. It's like, okay, what do I do? I've already, painted the house or whatever it is. Some of you mentioned you wanted to work on cars, but what I found interesting is that a lot of you that do work on cars pretty much said that you never wanted to see another car again, which is fascinating. But I suppose you get to a point in your career where you start thinking about retirement. You start thinking, okay, I can see the finish line. It's off in the distance. What am I going to do? And for most of us, it's a financial question. And that's why I brought up the Social Security thing earlier. Because if you don't have enough money to live after retirement, you keep working. Like my dad is still working. And I asked him why he was still working. He was pretty much like, well, I'm going to work until they piss me off. And then walk out the door. And I can't blame him for that. I might go about it in the same way. But even before I became self-employed, I never really saw myself retiring. I always saw myself working pretty much forever. And I don't know if that's something that's changed, with just people in general. Let's face it, I started this channel because I was broke and a lot of you were broke, and I thought, well, I'll throw a life preserver out to you to see what happens. And a lot of us seem to be in that boat to where we're struggling, and some of us can't even think about retirement or saving for retirement because we're just trying to pay the bills. So it's kind of a tricky question, because on one hand, you want to get to a place to where, okay, I'm going to relax and enjoy the rest of my life. And on the other hand, you're saying to yourself, well, how the heck can I do that? Because, well, I don't have enough money, or I can't afford to quit. I can't afford to stop working. So you get senior citizens with part-time jobs like McDonald's, places like that offer some decent health insurance. Well, health insurance to some degree, better than no health insurance. We're not going to get into Obamacare. That being said, you find yourself in your golden years working. So this is the question that I'm putting to you. Aside from what I did on social networks, and a lot of you had some really great ideas, as I said, as far as what you're going to do for retirement, how are you going to afford to pay for those dreams? I mean, I have dreams myself. In fact, my hope is to get to a place at the end of the road. I don't think 65 though. I see myself, I don't know. I don't know, where I can't really picture myself there. For me, that's about 20 years off. And in 20 years, it's hard to, because a lot's changed. So much has changed in the past 20 years, I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the next 20. Who knows? Maybe, maybe I won't have to worry about retirement. But when I stop and think about it, I think, you know, I'd like to be on a beach somewhere, is what I think. I'd like not to have to mess with the weather anymore, especially after this winter. It's winter in 2014, it's plenty of snow, plenty of cold this year. So a little tired of shoveling. It feels good to work out like that, but just a little bit, I'm over it. And I was thinking while I was out there shoveling, you know, when I'm 50, 60 something, will I be out here doing this exact same thing? I know I will want to. My motivation to do so will be less. Maybe I'll have kids around and put them to work, who knows, or grandkids. I'll put them to the task. But that being said, I always thought, you know, someplace warm, and I'd like to get back into my art. I'd like to get back to painting. I'd love to just paint pictures, you know, play Pablo Picasso for the rest of my life. I think that would be kind of nice. So no real clear agenda on where, but that's what I thought. I thought I'd, on a beach somewhere, painting pictures, maybe selling ice cream to girls in bikinis with my friend there. That would be great. So I put the question to you. What do you want to do for your retirement? How do you envision yourself working past the traditional retirement age? Do you see yourself going past that, like well past that? Do you see yourself working till the day you die? And I've had that thought myself, not only because of financial reasons, just because of boredom, like I talked about. I mean, you get bored and you're looking for stuff to do. So, you know, take up shuffleboard, checkers, I don't know. For me, that's 20 years away as far as the age. As far as what happens in the next 20 years after that, if I have those 20 years, well, we'll see. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on retirement? What are you going to do? Have you saved up? Have you got a plan? Are you headed someplace? Are you going to stay right where you are? Are you going to work on cars? You're never going to look at another car again? What kind of things? What are your thoughts on retirement and where you think it's going to be by the time you get there? Curious about your thoughts. Not only can you post your comments down below, but there will also be a link in the description to a discussion about this video over my forum at ericthecarguy.com. And speaking of ericthecarguy.com, I would ask that you head there if you have automotive questions. Why? Because the entire website has been set up to help you with those automotive questions that you might have. We have a welcome video there describing all the wonderful features at ericthecarguy.com to help you with those automotive questions should you have them. If you wish to connect with me socially, I can be found on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, and I close each of my videos with be safe, have fun, and stay dirty, and hopefully retire well. I'll see you next time.